In 1996, Gary Forney came across an ad for Magic Key Productions. "Unlock the magic," the ad said, and it spoke to Gary. As a young man, he'd been a struggling artist and musician, but those aspirations were long buried under years of factory work. He was living on a farm with no heat and no money, shivering through the Iowa winter, when he wrote his first song in years, Caravan, and sent it off to Magic Key.
What are we doing here? Where are we going to? Caravan.
The lyrics sound depressing, but when you hear the song, it kind of gives you hope because you realize somebody else has those same feelings. We're all in this together, and yes, we all get depressed, but the thing to do is just to let it loose. Admit you're scared, admit you're alone, or laugh at it, but just let it out. At least that works for me.
Gary quickly moved on to happier songs, about his wife and his first car, and novelty songs like "We'll Be Doing It for Christmas" and "Alien Stole My Dog." Gary was thrilled with the way Magic Key brought his lyrics to life, but until recently, he had never even spoken with Magic Key owner Art Kaufman, the man who writes, sings, plays, and produces his music. Yet both Gary and Art feel a real connection nonetheless.
It's almost psychic at times, like I'll send them in the lyrics and I'll have a melody in my own mind, but of course they can't read my mind. But it's interesting how it comes back and it's exactly like I heard the arrangement in my own mind.
Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you hear my song? Hey, Mr. Spaceman, bring back my dog.
At that time in my life, my dog just died, and I got this song in, and it just kind of freaked me out a little.
It's unusual for producer Art Kaufman to relate to a song like that. Since the business is strictly mail order, Art knows little about his clients beyond what he can guess from their lyrics, names, and handwriting. In the old days, businesses exploited that, promising fame and fortune to anyone who sent a check. But Art bristles when asked if song poems are a scam. He says he's completely honest. For $100 to $400, they get a song they can do what they want with. And he says he rarely has a disappointed client.
I get so many letters from these people that they just cried when they heard the song, and their parents are proud of them now. I mean, just tons and tons of wonderful, wonderful letters. Of course, once in a while we get some nasty letters too.
You're a psychedelic baby, yeah, oh yeah, all orange and pink and lime.
Art Kaufman composes from start to finish on his computer and guitar, but other companies just hire a band and let them whip out 30 or 40 songs in an afternoon. Gene Merlino, who estimates he's sung over 12,000 song poems, says it's a blast. Gene sang his first song poem in the 50s for $1, and he continues to this day, even after singing on multiple hit records. Here's Gene's exuberant rendition of The Moon Man, about the first lunar landing, I think.
Coming over to a place that never before has had a man, blasting off from Earth and into space, traveling mighty fast, that made the landing on the pan.
Yeah, the Moon Man. I looked at the lead sheet and I said, guys, we can't do this. The words don't fall in the right places. I don't understand any of what's going on here. And then I did it in one take. And when the guys got through, they all stood up and applauded me. And it was probably the proudest moment of my life. And interestingly enough, when we got through with it and I listened to it back, I said, you know something? It kind of makes sense to me now.
Flash into the sea, coming back is to behold
One time, Gene was singing and a song poet named Helen Malachowski actually showed up at the studio. She breathlessly explained that her husband was chasing her because she'd gambled the last of his savings on her song, The Feast of Lanterns.
And here we are. Okay, let's get through with this thing because, you know, the guy may come in and shoot us. So, you want me to sing it for you? Because it's priceless. In a Chinese garden, during the Feast of Lanterns, someone offered a cup of tea. I never cared for tea, but now I care for tea. My heart When thumpty-thump each time she'd drop a lump during the Feast of Lanterns. And when we got to that line, my heart went thumpty-thump each time she'd drop a lump, we had to stop because the band just was roaring on the floor. Now, she thought she had a hit here, as most of these people do.
I got high last night on LSD. My mind was beautiful.
No song poem has ever been a hit. One achieved semi-regular airplay and widespread distribution, a little ditty called Blind Man's Penis. Its author, John Truby, wrote it as a prank when he was 18 years old.
A blind man's penis is a wreck because he's blind. It's a wreck because he's blind.
Most song poets, however, are not pranksters writing hallucinatory material. For most, this is an intensely personal process. Turning your world into song is a way to make life more interesting, even beautiful. Sylvia Stearns, a songwriter, playwright, poet, and grandmother living in Omaha, Nebraska, tries to capture the mood of the country. She's been working on patriotic songs since September 11th and has produced a tribute to the fallen NASCAR racer, Dale Earnhardt.
Drivers of the world, with tears and pride we'll celebrate. Greatest driver of them all, to him they can relate.
Mundane things is not for me. I'm a mundane person in a certain sense. I get up every morning, get my breakfast and all that. But when I'm through with that, I'm back doing something that's just out of the ordinary.
Sylvia's songs have brought her something almost as precious as a hit record: adventure. For example, after reading in the paper that a famous hobo named Hood River Blackie was passing through Omaha, she wrote a song about him. Word of the song reached Blackie. He turned up at her house and stayed long enough to help Sylvia write an entire musical about the hobo lifestyle.
The wind is a hobo, never stays one place, always on the go from the mountaintop to valley below.
Sylvia has been writing songs with Art Kaufman for more than a decade. That's longer than most bands stay together. In Iowa, Gary Forney is starting to move beyond song poems. Lately, he started performing at festivals, accompanied by his son on guitar. Audience reaction has been mixed at best, but he doesn't really care. And when Gary sent Magic Key a song called Three-Eyed Boy, he included a tape for Art to work from.
Well, I'm a three-eyed boy.
It didn't have my son's guitar playing to it. They tried to copy it, but they didn't have that right. And also, even though I didn't really think I could sing that good, it wasn't my voice coming across. And it suddenly dawned on me, nope, for that song to be right, I'll have to do it myself.
Well, I'm a three-eyed boy just looking for a tattoo girl.
Gary spends almost every spare dollar producing songs, and he feels that it's money well spent. He doesn't want to make $1 million. He just wants to make music. For Studio 360, I'm Michael May in Austin, Texas.
I've been looking for a girl to love. She got one blue eye, and the other's green, if you know what I mean.
I'm Kurt Anderson in Studio 360 with Michael Kimmelman, the chief art critic for the New York Times.